Hi everyone, and in today's video we're going to test every new feature that Gemini 3 has come up with, and it's looking great. But let's start with some fun. I'm going to switch to the latest Nano Banana model because that's also part of the whole Gemini 3 update, and as you can see, let's try to create something. I'm going to ask you to create a UI for a beautiful website which has a credit card created in gold with features like 1:1 point transfer and unlimited lounge access. I'm going to keep it super real. Let's see what does the UI come to, and then we'll actually be able to test this with Gemini 3 if it can actually convert this image into a real website in one shot. Let's see what happens. Okay, so this is where the image has come out, and it does not look bad. At least I don't know why it added like something on the back, because it probably tried to create a couple of pages rather than a single page. But now let's actually test if the latest Gemini 3 model can actually convert this into a one-shot UI and also not make the same mistakes that the Nano Banana did, because again, I don't actually like the way it has come out. But let's see. So I'm going to paste the image here, convert this into a beautiful website with HTML, CS, and JS in a single file, right? And I'm going to again ensure that we are selected with Pro. Yes, perfect. Go ahead. Let's see what comes out here. But till this is happening, I want to actually show you one of the more cool features of Nano Banana Pro, which is really crazy. And the crazy feature is that I can upload a PDF and ask it to analyze it and also create a snapshot of something beautiful. So I'm going to click on Create Image, and I'm going to ask it, create an easy explanation for this using visuals and a Sankey chart, very simply to see what comes out from the earnings report of Nvidia. And this is actually a pretty cool way to use images to understand concepts faster, which imagine putting a PDF and getting like a graphic made within seconds, which used. But let's see, it did not actually create the image, but now I'm going to ask it, convert this into a visual explainer. So now I've asked it to convert this into a visual explainer with a Sankey style chart on this. So let's see, it is generating an image, and I think it's going to still add details beyond that. So let's see what comes out it. If you look at it, this is a pretty cool image that Gemini was able to create. Like again, this is like, pretty close to what a Sankey chart would look like, where you see like, how much money came in, what is went out, and how much of it went out, which is pretty difficult to create as an image just because the complexity that is involved. But I still believe this was pretty cool. Like just this would create a ton of time. Like, this would take a ton of time to actually create it. I can believe like this is going to be a tool which every marketing team will use across different sectors, from finance, from like, other products and everything else. This is just super amazing. But let's actually come to the website. This is a one-shot website of the image that I gave it. I don't even know where it has pulled these images from. I believe it's from Shutterstock or something. But just that you have a beautiful card and also like, again, a decently looking landing page. It's pretty crazy. I am just amazed that they were able to like, create and like, pull the right kind of images. This is all pulled up from Unsplash just because I was checking it, and it's crazy. Like, again, literally this is something that Gemini really hands down performs amazing. But I'm still not done with Nano Banana Pro model. Is actually really good. If it can create images like this, I want to check what can it do with a much more detailed prompt. So I created a much more detailed prompt where it is supposed to create a comic style image for technically an instruction following format. So a comic which looks in Studio Mizaki style. So let's see what comes out here. And I'm actually like, very interested to see what does the output look like. It works pretty well for simple stuff, but I've tried to give it like, a difficult art style to copy in a comic style format, and also a topic which will involve a lot of visual layouts. So let's actually see what comes out. Nano Banana Pro to also edit images, just like, again, very simply put in your own photo and ask it to make you scary, make it like, look like you are sitting on top of a mountain or sitting on top of a chair or whatever you want to talk about. This image looks super crazy. And yes, this was the instructions, and this is really, really amazing. The text is perfect, the image looks fabulously amazing, and I can just say, like, again, this is probably one of the best images I've ever seen an AI create, just given the amount of elements that it was. And this is one shot. And yes, the prompt was much more detailed, and we can create those kind of prompts. You can even ask Gemini to create those kind of prompts. But just that it can exist like this is crazy. Like, just look at this. Look how beautiful it has come, and I can just losing my mind over the text. But there's still one more feature that Gemini actually brings in this time, and it's actually part of the Gemini, again, the app itself, rather than a model upgrade or something. It's visual layout. So if you come here, select tools, and go to visual layout, it's pretty cool. Again, I'm going to ask it to create something. Create me a beautiful learning to learn about LLMs, right? And you will see the response is going to be much more different. And it's not something crazy. They actually demoed this a couple of years ago, but this is actually going to create a UI within the chart. So instead of just reading text, because again, you get fatigue after reading just a bunch of text, unless you are someone who can actually sit down and just read a bunch of text for a very long time and just learn a lot of this, you are amazing. But the point is, most people need some level of format, some level of UI to actually learn in a better format. So this is visual layout, which technically can create a layout and help you learn, or convert your chart into a more experience-based format. So you can see, again, this is how, it's, imagine this as a landing page for your own personal learning. So you can see how LLMs work, essential concepts for learning, and I just clicked on that, so it started prompting again. And you have also videos coming from YouTube, which itself would be great for to utilize all the platform that is there. You have concepts, you have this, you can click on them and you can learn more. I clicked on prompt engineering, so it's probably creating a new design to help me understand that. So from a learning perspective, this builds out very beautiful UI that can allow you to be not bored and just allow that. These images don't matter at all, but the idea is that you have a UI now compared to just a blob of text that you can just read through. A very cool trick, but also I believe, which is again, what they're bringing into is dynamic UIs. This is a UI generated in front of you for your particular use case, and I believe this will something that a lot of more applications will come out with, but also that more and more people will start using them just because you get a much better interface. With that, I will leave you with this particular thing, that if you really enjoyed the video of covering all the features that we did, hit the subscribe button. You should definitely try out Gemini 3 because it's really good at programming, as we just saw. It one-shotted a website like this, and it one-shotted an image like this, even if the prompt was detailed. So go ahead, test it out. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I would love to see you in the next one.